Hi folks, it's Arnold here. I have written this poem for our very good friend Charles Francis Houghton, affectionately known as Frank, who celebrates his 70th birthday this week. We love you, Frank. Have a wonderful birthday. Enjoy the poem. Happy 70th birthday, Frank. As Frank's milestone 70th birthday arrives, it's time to ponder a while and recall, with Pamela's help where my memory might fail. May our thoughts help Frank to walk tall. We have known Frank for almost half of his life, which is why we feel able to say there are few on our journey who've been such a good friend. Frank's been faithful and kind all the way. At heart he's a carer, that's clear to see, in his love for his beautiful wife. Shay has been blessed, we all would agree, by Frank's care for so much of her life. We have known Frank and Shay since 1989, when our paths crossed one Sunday in church. Our friendship has deepened, and we can truthfully say they have never left us in the lurch. Each complements the other. They are such a good match. Their marriage was made in heaven, no doubt, and together they make a formidable pair, God moulded within and without. We love Shay, but she wouldn't mind one bit that this poem is our tribute to Frank. So we'll focus mostly on him to the end. It's our septuagenarian Pam and I want to thank. We have journeyed together through laughter and tears. Frank's giggles are such a joy to behold. They're extremely contagious and hard to resist, as I've discovered if truth be told. Francis of I Can't See, friend Tom Casey once quipped, when Frank had lost his glasses one day. Tom had inadvertently spoken the truth, for Frank is a saint, we can truthfully say. Wandering Walter is another title given to Frank. Having grown up in his own company, as an only child, Frank was often alone, so he'd wander to see what he could see. In Morocco, that wandering stood Frank in good stead. With Shay not so mobile, he'd wander away. He would visit the shops and chat to someone and listen, learning Arabic on the way. Ever since Frank asked Jesus into his life, he's shared his story both in work and the streets. An evangelist with great love for his Lord, he helped Shay, his Saviour, to meet. Pam and Bernie visited Frank and Shay early days, and in Fez, both could see right away how quickly they were learning to speak Arabic as they mixed with Moroccans each day. Pam and I had the privilege of visiting too, both in Fez, then in Meknes as well. All the good work they did and people they blessed would take too long for this poem to tell. It's recorded in heaven, everything Frank and Shay did, with God's help in those Moroccan 12 years. You have only to ask them, but please be prepared to be touched with both laughter and tears. Back to Frank now. This poem is especially for him. So a few words on his creative side. He can paint, Irish dance, write poetry and bake, yet his humility will prevent any pride. And of course we must mention the Oakland's years. Frank and Shay helped widen our focus to see God's heart for the nations, which they certainly had, and our joy was to help them to be. On returning to Preston in 2010, they were a faithful support in Church Street. Pam and I could not have done what we did, and working with them was always a treat. Frank was in his element in the prayer room, at home chatting to whoever dropped in, and of course working hard serving coffee and cake, then making sure at the close all was clean. After 12 years in Morocco, Frank and Shay lived with us. It was our privilege to host our good friends. Those few months together were more than enough to confirm we'd be friends to the end. Soon after, they began their fostering years, first with children, then young refugee men, and quickly developed their mum and dad skills. Ask each one and they'd give them a 10. So, Frank, be assured of our love and support as we celebrate your special birthday. It's our privilege to have such a faithful, good friend. May God bless you and Shay all the way.